Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the ninth podcast of Amity University Rekhi Foundation Center for Science of Happiness on the topic Executive Harmony Conversations with CEOs on Happiness and Spirituality. Today, on Executive Harmony podcast, we are delighted to welcome Dr. Roopak Vashisht. Welcome, Dr. Roopak, sir.
Namaskar, sir. Thank you very much.
So glad that you made up the time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Roopak Vashisht is a visionary leader whose career spans over 4 decades across industries like aviation, textile, healthcare, and skilling. Currently the CEO of Progressive Aviation Ventures, Dr. Roopak is at the forefront of redefining the Indian aviation landscape, aligning his work with the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. A talented musician, an approved announcer for All India Radio, and an avid writer, he blends creativity and spirituality into his leadership style. With prestigious accolades like Bharat Gaurav Award, Bharat Seva Ratan Puraskar, Dr. Roopak embodies a harmonious balance of professional excellence and personal fulfillment. Join us as we explore his journey, his views on happiness, and how spirituality has guided his leadership philosophy. Welcome once again, Dr. Roopak, sir, and it was a pleasure reading your profile.
Thank you very much.
Sir, this is the ninth podcast for our Center of Happiness. This Center of Happiness is running for last almost 4 years, and this is for the well-being of students, teachers, communities, and even the corporates. This initiative, the Center of Happiness, is with the blessings of our Honorable Founder President, sir, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, sir. And we are reporting, or you can say all the leadership directions are coming from our Honorable Vice Chancellor. So we welcome you on their behalf also.
Thank you very much.
Before we start this session, I want you to just have a feeling of the podcast. So we have created a jingle for our podcast. It's called Executive Harmony. And before we do any discussions and all that, first we have like...
In the boardrooms we find a different kind of mind. Leaders taking time to seek the truth inside. Heart and soul align. In wisdom we can find. Let's spark a change in kind. The journey starts inside. Executive harmony. Together we'll explore happiness and spirituality. Withiness and spirituality. We're searching for much more. At the Center for Science of Happiness, where peace and joy reside. CEOs and guides, their stories far and wide. From boardrooms to the tide. In peace they'll fly. Executive harmony. Together we'll explore happiness and withiness and spirituality. We're searching for much more. At the Center for Science of Happiness, where peace and the pros. In each step we'll grow with every word they show.
Paul, let's start with the basic question, sir. What is happiness for you?
See, as far as the happiness is concerned, I mean, this is something, as per me, it's a state of mind. You know, when we feel satisfied after performing an act, or we get back something in response to our earlier efforts, be it financial return, recognition, or few words of gratitude. So this is what I feel that's why you get the happiness. This is what I define happiness as. And you know, when we say the gratitude part, it's a priceless jewel with us. Simple words, you know, simple words like, you know, thank you, shabash, great, wow, wonderful. I mean, they play extremely, you know, strong role while creating trust and harmony in the team, actually. And this is priceless. First of all, you know, it doesn't cost anything. The gratitude, as I say, and you know, praising somebody, gratitude, recognizing somebody, and this brings happiness not only in the receiver's mind, gives happiness to me also. And it's priceless, as I said, doesn't cost anything. And the return is worth millions of rupees.
Okay. You have been the recipients of prestigious awards like Bharat Gaurav Award and Bharat Seva Ratan Puruskar. So, like,
Right.
what was the story behind that?
You know, what happened was that I wanted to tell the people about Skill India movement.
Right.
And Skill India movement was started by the government of India in 2014 and 2015 rather. And in fact, I was very lucky to be a part of this esteemed, you know, project of the government of India. And I was given the charge of skilling people in apparel sector. And
Yes.
incidentally, in the past 10 years, we were able to actually skill more than 2.4 million persons. And this was a record, in fact, in the entire country, in the entire, all the sectors. Although apparel sector is not the largest one, but still we were able to skill more than 2.4 million persons. And I felt really very, very happy when we realized that although the efforts had not been done by us, but the result was such that more than 90% of the beneficiaries were women. And this I mean, by default also, we were able to actually showcase the true women empowerment, you know, project basically. And recognizing this particular feat, perhaps these authorities of both the awards, they considered it appropriate to confer these awards on me. And I wanted to, you know, very little, you know, I'll take very little time to explain this, that the Skill India itself, skill has, I mean, the definition of skilling has been changed by Skill India mission. Now it's no longer a kind of menial kind of subject. So it has, you know, we were able to, in fact, bring in respect for skills. And unlike, you know, you see the entire world, skills have got so much respect across the world that you know, a doctor and a plumber or a carpenter are taking lunch together, and you know, they travel together, they go. I mean, there's no difference. There's no white collar and blue collar kind of this thing. The difference which we have here. So we have been able to bring in some respect to skills. And so this was perhaps the mission of, this was one of the goals of Skill India mission. And we were able to achieve that. Then perhaps, as I said, the authorities thought it appropriate to recognize me on these, though I did my job okay. But perhaps these awards were conferred on me, please. Yeah. I'll just briefly tell you, because this was very, very close to my heart, this Skill India movement. Skill India, in fact, has changed the entire, the entire definition of skilling in the country. In fact, earlier these skills used to be called very inferior kind of subject, where Skill India has brought respect to the skilling, because it is now, by the way, skills are now measured from level 1 to level 9, and you'll be level 10 rather, 1 to 10, and that 1 being the lowest, and the 10 is equivalent to PhD. So, I mean, and you have the educational equivalents also of various skilling, milestones. Number 4, let's say, skill number 4, it's equated to 12th standard. Number 7 or 8 is equated to graduation. Number 9 is equated to post-graduation, and 10 is equated to PhD. So that's what I said. Skill India has changed the entire, definition of skilling in the country, and I was really very lucky to be a part of this journey. And perhaps, the appropriate authorities considered it appropriate to grant these. They gave these awards to me. Otherwise, I did my duty. It is I mean, I did my duty. बाकी जैसा वो उनको अप्रोप्रिएट लगा, उन्होंने ये अवार्ड्स मुझे दिए.
Statement, roti, kapda, or makan. That kapda, that apparel, that skilling of this people, 2.3 or 2.4 million women who were able to make this industry grow, and this became one of the success reason for this getting the award. Wonderful. Sir, your career spans HR, skilling, healthcare, media, and now aviation. What inspired such diverse transitions? How you adapted to each domain?
The connecting link is, first of all, my core subject, human resources, because I am that person, basically. And in all these industries, in fact, I remained as HR head of most of these concerns. And only in last organization, I became the CEO of Apparel, Made-ups and Home Furnishing Sector Skill Council. Otherwise, I worked with the automobile industry, with Escorts, Yamaha Motorcycle Division of Escorts. I worked for Apparel Export Promotion Council, and in the healthcare also, Dr. Lal Path Labs. So I was with resources. And now in the aviation sector, in fact, I'm the CEO of this organization. Now, as I said, the core is human resources. And but otherwise, if you see the sectors that don't matter much, because the principles of management remain the same. You know, how do you manage the people, basically, is this particular, I mean, these principles remain the same, and they're universally, applicable. And so it's basically, it didn't matter much to me, whether the industry is an automobile industry or, healthcare industry. So everywhere, in fact, as I said, people with 2 hands and 2 legs, similar kind of behavioral aspects, So you basically are able to manage them well with your own style of working.
HR became the tunnel between like a bridge between all of these things, which made you comfortable to switch to different sectors, and becoming now the CEO from different domains, roles, now the head of the organization. Something like this role, you were comfortable to don that.
HR people are not considered normally in the corporate world. HR heads are normally not considered for the CEO's position. I don't know why, but normally the people from finance or from the sales side or the
marketing, sales, and all. Yes, few of my colleagues who were the CHROs in different sectors, few of them have become the CEOs in the same sector, also in the same organization. So now they are entering into the boardrooms and making decisions and all. And this is a wise decision coming up.
My point is that if HR people are made CEO, I mean, he'll be more passionate towards the team as such. He'll bring more harmony, perhaps, because he understands the psyche of the entire the softer aspects of the team, basically.
Even the happiness center, this evolved from the HR of Amity. So that is a part of, again, a different shade of HR. But yes, it is evolving only from the HR area also.
Happy, by the way, that MIT has made this center. I mean, this is a wonderful step. Wonderful step, in fact. This is something which is lacking in the corporate sector or in the even the government sector or the corporate sector. These, I mean, if unless you inculcate these values and these, the core of happiness and first of all, it's a thrilling experience to know that there's an organization, there's a department, the full-fledged department works in the university. It's a wonderful thing, in fact, a wonderful step.
Thank you. This is the vision of our Honorable Founder President, sir, Honorable Chancellor, sir, and our supporting partners who are attached with us for the Center of Happiness to make this possible. Sir, moving from media-centric role, like your announcer stint with All India Radio, to leading aviation ventures is a fascinating leap. Is there anything particular motivation behind this shift, or you can say specifically into aviation? So why aviation? Like,
Fine. First of all, music and these announcements and all that it's my passion. It's my hobby, basically. Nothing to do with my profession. I didn't make it as a profession as such. And
okay,
right, over last, in fact, 20, 25, rather 30 years, I have been announcing in All India Radio. And in fact, earlier in 80s, in fact, I used to read news also in the Doordarshan. For some time, I read news, and in fact, you know, this films divisions documentaries used to be made earlier. So I used to give my voice.
right.
I'm very active in the voiceovers, basically, and this is my passion.
So,
And National Geographic Channel and others. A lot of voiceovers I have, given actually, and I'm very passionate. I mean, this is my hobby. Nothing to do with my job as a profession as such. And just started my career, as I said, as a management trainee with the Escorts Yamaha, and then moved to various industries, and now reached the aviation sector. In fact, the reaching the aviation sector is, my son is the biggest motivation. He's a pilot
okay,
with Indigo Airlines. So
okay.
at the
He's a
moment,
pilot.
yeah, pilot with Indigo Airlines. So
Okay,
with him, in fact, we used to discuss a lot, during his trainings, during his induction and, practical trainings. We used to discuss a lot regarding this in the, aviation sector. Aviation sector is, by the way, booming. It's really booming right now. By the way, just for information of your audience, we have around at the moment we have around 800 planes in the country,
okay,
and
okay,
it aspires to reach 5,000 by 2047. 2047, this number will reach 5,000. The number of pilots is right now, let's say, around 10,000, 12,000, close to 12,000, and is again will reach another 10,000 are required by 2029. So, in fact, this organization, Progressive Aviation Ventures, which is basically based in Gift City, Ahmedabad. Gift City,
okay,
which is an SEZ zone. So this is aircraft leasing company. So aircrafts are purchased and then leased out to the various users. Now, users can be flight training organizations which train the pilot. Because we wanted, in fact, frankly speaking, this was one of my vision, one of my dreams, in fact, that I used to see that the people here in India, they send their wards to the European countries or Australia or US or South Africa for practical training. While the ground classes are can be conducted here and they are very well organized here in India, but the practical trainings because of lack of aircrafts. And this was the vision. In fact, I kept it in mind for a very long, period. And then we were able to actually zero in on this leasing, leasing part. And so we are right now. We would like to bring in enough aircrafts to the country so that we become really Atmanirbhar as far as we are concerned, the country is concerned. And in the country itself, there should be, we feel that enough, aircrafts should be available for the training of the, prospective pilots. People don't need to go out actually. So we have a lot of flight training organizations or flight training schools in this country, but somehow most of them need more aircrafts, and
They need more aircrafts.
as I said, by we are in 2025. By 2029 itself, will be needing more than 10,000 more pilots. We need a lot of pilots because by the way, with one aircraft, one A320, let's say aircraft, you need 16 pilots. So this is the ratio actually. So
For one aircraft, 16 pilots.
pilots are needed basically. Yeah, because
Is
of the three shifts you can say, and people
Okay.
have to be given offs also. Music, as I said, music तो खैर वो गाना वाना तो खैर हमेशा जुबान पे चलता ही
सुनेंगे जरूर सर आप आज भी सुनेंगे आज भी सुनेंगे.
अरे
Okay. I'm saying, is there any daily ritual or a habit, any ritual habit that brings you joy every day? हर एक का
Yes.
कुछ ना कुछ एक चीज होती है, रिचुअल, कुछ रूटीन कि ये तो करना ही करना है आज.
वो है हमारी योगा, मॉर्निंग योगा सेशन फॉर an hour. Me and my wife, I mean, we both do yoga in the morning.
Okay.
जिस दिन योगा नहीं होगा उस दिन समझ लीजिए खाना खाने का भी दिल नहीं करता है.
Okay.
Really brings a real joy, a real, you feel so energetic after this. And this is something which has become, along with the, tea, this has become a kind of एक लत पड़ गई है आपको.
So even the audience can understand, or you can take up this kind of first mantra that yoga से होगा, yoga से दिन अच्छा होगा, yoga से दिन खुश होगा, something like that, which as per Dr. Roopak sir says, and it is his daily routine. Okay. So we enter into little next section for the happiness and your organization, or you can say leadership happiness. As a CEO of Progressive Aviation Ventures, how do you foster a culture of well-being and happiness within your organization? Like any particular things, routine, ritual, policy that you have inculcated in Progressive Aviation Ventures with your employees, like how you transfer your philosophy into organization as a head of organization?
You see, it normally happens with most of the organizations. Employees, कुछ organizations हैं जिसमें employees feel like coming to the office every day. There are organizations where employees wait for Fridays and they hate Mondays. ये क्यों होता है? अंदर एक atmosphere, and this is the responsibility of the top leader. And the top leader can actually make an organization conducive enough to actually be the best of the workplace for the people. And he is the one, or he or she is the one who can ruin it also. He or she can ruin it also. So this somehow people have different kinds of leadership styles. So if you make the place comfortable for the employee, he knows it very well. In fact, the person from HR normally knows it very well. What are the expectations of the employees from the organization? And कोई क्या बोलते हैं, कोई चांद और तारे नहीं मांग रहे होते पीपल डोंट रिक्वायर वो दोस सिंपल चीज। उसमें कुछ चीजें होती हैं, स्पोरेडिक पार्टीज करिए आप, सिंपल कोई छोटी सी चीज हुई, कुछ हुआ छोटा सा, चलिए आज समोसा पार्टी हो गई, आज पकौड़ा पार्टी हो गई, आज बारिश आ रही है। अच्छा, बेस्ट पार्ट इज दैट द एम्प्लॉइज should be able to come to the leaders or the senior कि आज सर बारिश आ गई है, क्यों ना पकौड़े हो जाए। Fine, good enough. I feel that giving them a chance to reach out to you actually brings a kind of harmonious kind of relations, and ये चीज जिस दिन the day the junior is able to come to the senior and the conversation is both ways. Otherwise, we have heard a lot during this in the management sessions, barrier to communication, the upward communication. It's hardly upward communication takes place. People have fear of the boss. Aaj boss gussa hai, aaj blah 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 blah. No, if the junior is able to reach out to the senior and expresses his or her concerns, this is the best part one can actually inculcate in the system.
Very nice.
Then we have this occasional get-togethers, calling, the kids to the, a very unique thing, calling kids to the office. Kids, छोटे छोटे बच्चे आ रहे होते हैं, एक particular day हम fix करते हैं, जिस दिन,
Okay.
the kids are brought to the office. And बड़ा एक चीपू मचा होता है उस दिन पूरे ऑफिस के अंदर, छोटे छोटे बच्चे, कुछ कुछ कुछ, but it brings in so much of, togetherness. कितना खुश होते हैं वो लोग. And this really brings in the happiness amongst their parents. That is the employees who are there with us. We also do a recognition of the kids. अब बच्चों को हमने कहा जो anybody getting more than 80% marks would be given a hamper. एक hamper हम लोग एक बना देते हैं,
Okay.
hamper
Okay.
basically. So every year this takes place. Every year this takes place, and we distribute this to the parents. The parents are the happiest person. Second, the kids are very happy. I mean, this is what basically, and there are some conventional things also, celebrating their birthdays. अच्छा, आज की डेट में थोड़ी सी a couple of more innovative things have come up, which are very, very practical. Giving, let's say, I mean, though it's a controversial thing, but giving pink leaves to the ladies, basically. Pink
Okay.
leaves during their
Right. Menstruations.
one
Yes.
day leave. So people, I see people tend to misuse it also, but as far as we are concerned, this shows, the humane side of the organization. And this is what I see. So these are a few, and again, not one, combination of all actually brings in a real happiness in the organization. And as I said, the employee normally should feel like going to the office on Mondays, right? And not wait for Fridays only.
And I'm happy to know that there's an organization who is also into this YES system for pink leaves. That's a wonderful name that you have given, pink leaves. Okay. So we move to the next one, is from happiness to spirituality. People say those who are happy people, they are somehow spiritual. And do you see them separately, or do you see them as one or two sides of the same coin? What is spirituality for you?
You see, spirituality as such, cleans up the mind and soul of the people. And only thing is, the spirituality needs to be slightly inculcated amongst the employees. And sometimes when we say something like, let's say we drive the आप बाहर निकलते हैं and see the haphazard traffic, this and the way people drive, and then we say कि देखो किसी को चलाना नहीं आता है, people don't. उनकी गलती नहीं है, उनको किसी ने आज तक रूल्स समझाए ही नहीं. तो जब रूल नहीं समझाए, then how could we expect the traffic to be smooth and people to follow the rules and regulations. Yeah. Here also, in an organization, let's say, when we say the work of the spirituality as such, and by the way, spirituality and happiness, they are very, they're basically very near to each other, basically. Dono
Okay.
साथ.
Okay.
Yes. स्पिरिचुअलिटी इसके अंदर एक चीज और मैं मानना चाहता हूँ, इसके अंदर मेरी अपना मानना है कि इसमें बेसिकली, एज आई सेड, वी शुड ऑर्गेनाइज, इनकलकेट, these values and these facts amongst the employees by organizing various programs, by various, we should, कहें तो सही हम, जब तक, unless we bring it into their knowledge, and we bring it to their knowledge, and not only knowledge, we should keep hammering them. We should, as this is our duty, in fact, our sovereign duty, to keep hammering these values amongst the employees, and then expect a positive result from them. Without inculcating, we expect normally, because उनको हो सकता है कहीं से सिखाया ना गया, because not every individual comes from a very good family where the values are, values and human values and other things are taught. But as far
Okay.
as we are concerned, it's our sovereign duty. In fact, why don't you? I mean, this is my request that points related to spirituality as well as happiness should be inculcated in most of the courses in Amity University to start with, so that this becomes a trend and others will certainly follow this. And because right now, at the moment, let me tell you one more thing. Slightly digressing from the subject. In the organizations these days, a lot of problems occur by way people fudge a lot of information while coming in. People do a lot of wrong things, this and that, and blah blah blah. So the question is, nobody has taught them basically that you're doing a wrong thing, basically. Now we say कि वो बहुत बढ़ गया है आजकल, तो बढ़ गया है, fine, but who has taught them basically? So it's our sovereign, our duty basically as a leaders basically to inculcate these values in the team, and this will certainly bring in more sanity, more transparency, more ultimately more happiness.
So, like, from your perspective, spirituality comes down, or you can say boils down to very small things, and somehow so that there is a positive atmosphere remaining in the, whether university or a company. So small things are going on, so that there is a kind of a sense. If I use the word sense, if people have the sense, they are spiritual.
Absolutely right. Perfect. Right. Yeah.
So what's your view on selfless service or seva and its role in building personal and community well-being?
Well, normally people say that this selfless service and seva, I mean, this is a work of yogis and, people on Kamandal, and, this is something to be, they expect this from them. No, a common man, I mean, selfless practice, this can be practiced by all of us day-to-day lives. I mean, and by the way, everybody knows it very well. People are reluctant to help others, basically. They're reluctant to help others, basically. कि मेरा क्या है इसमें फायदा? If I, if I keep, looking at my फायदा only, that selflessness, that would vanish, basically, and the world basically आज वो कहते हैं कि टिका हुआ है, basically, on the basis of selfless acts of many, nice souls on earth. And selflessness, as I said, is not something which is practiced by yogis only, or by these noble persons only. Selflessness can be practiced by a common man sitting in the office, working at home, walking on street, anyway, selfless acts can be done by us. And we know it, by the way. We know it. Everybody has, the God has given us enough brain to understand what exactly is selfless act. But only thing is somehow people are going away from that कि इसमें मेरा क्या फायदा है मेरा फायदा है तो मैं करता हूँ. People have stopped talking to each other these days. आज की डेट में you receive a call from an old friend or somebody, from your inner mind, and you keep while you're talking आपको ये हमेशा रहेगा अब ये कोई काम बताने वाला है अब ये कोई काम बताने वाला है. Why has he called me after 10 years, after 5 years? So people have stopped talking to each other, for that used to be the earlier earlier this used to be the norm. Earlier people used to talk to each other, people used to visit each other. Now people talk to each other only when there's the work with each other. यदि काम है तो बात करते हैं, otherwise नहीं करते. So selfless talks, selfless discussion, क्यों ना किसी दिन, and again I'm not boasting myself. Like I on Saturdays I call up at least two of my old friends, just like that. Hello, hi, कोई काम नहीं है. And he, by the way, while I talk to them, वो जरूर सोचते होंगे कि इसको कोई काम पड़ गया है. But basically selfless. आप बिल्कुल उससे बात करें और selfless acts वो करें. I feel, but again, people need to be reminded of these things. People need to be inculcated. These they have to be inculcated amongst. And by the way, again, every month, in fact, in our organization, we organize one such session. One such session. Yes. Again, of somebody who's a successful person, be it a CEO of an organization, be it a doctor, be it, and we organize and on spirituality also, which was not every month, but after at least 2 or 3 months, we organize one such session where spirituality and selfless acts and all these moral science kind of these kind of subjects are inculcated amongst the people. Because क्या होता है कि when you teach 10 things, at least एक चीज जरूर दिमाग में रह जाती. तो कुछ at least there's something to some take for them, and अगर वो एक पे भी अमल कर ले, so I think we are good.
Yes. This selfless act of calling two friends reminds me of the same thing, something similar told by even the CEO of Google. A question was asked, how do you start your routine? How do you start your day? He said, I just call randomly in my network 3 people, and I say thank you to be in my network, and how are you? How are your family? Just like that. It will just take my 10 minutes of my time, but then I will call 3 people every day in the morning before I do anything. So this is something like that, what you said. It's a very high quality, sir, of talking and reaching out to the people. Thank you. If I move forward, is there any way you would like to say to the younger people, because those who are around 18-year age, 20, 19, 17 age, how to be spiritual? Like at that level, can we mellow down, or can we just give us some insight? Okay, by this way, you can build up your spirituality. By this way, you can build up your stamina of spirituality. Anything?
But if you again inculcate these things, as I said, as far as office is concerned, we are able to inculcate these things again and again. And again, spirituality and religious parts are slightly different. They are different, really.
Yes, they are different. They are different.
Spirituality is different. Religious aspects are different.
Yes, this is not religious.
Younger lot is concerned, my advice basically is that at least spend 10 minutes to yourself in the morning and do some kind of meditation, dhyan. And let me tell you, this will give immense power to, this really brings in immense power. 10 minutes of meditation. And this will, let me tell you, the जितना आप fresh feel करेंगे, जितना एनर्जेटिक फील करेंगे उतना किसी चीज से आप नहीं कर सकते। 10 मिनट्स ऑफ दैट एंड दिस, उस वक्त क्या है, आपके दिमाग में कुछ नहीं आता, आपका दिमाग एक, वो कहते हैं ना, शून्य में देखिए आप, बिल्कुल जीरो, बिल्कुल अंदर, बिल्कुल। और आपने उसको आप ध्यान लगाइए बेसिकली। एंड ये कोई ध्यान, ये जरूरी नहीं है कि पर्सन ऑफ 70 years old और 60 years old कैन, इन उन लोगों का काम है ये ध्यान व्यान लगाना, वो सब। नो, दिस विल ब्रिंग इन द एनर्जी विच यू नीड फॉर द एंटायर डे दैट एनर्जी कैन बी एक्चुअली स्टोर। एंड ये आप एनर्जी लेके आप उसको स्टोर कर सकते हैं। 10 मिनट का, जस्ट 10 मिनट्स ऑफ मेडिटेशन एंड, और उस वक्त आप सोचिए और अपने आप से बात करें, खुद से बात करें, खुद को देखें, खुद के अंदर से अपने आप से बात।
So we were talking to few spiritual gurus. So one of them I asked, is there any similarity of the gift given by Western spiritual people and the Eastern spiritual people? So he said the word shunya. And I said how they are similar from Western and this perspective, something contrast or whatever, but the word is shunya, the word is zero. He said Western people, when they mean zero, they mean you are nothing, you are useless, you are a failure. But when a Eastern people says you are a shunya, it means you are a Brahman, you are a God, you are everything. So the meaning of zero has extreme meanings from different perspectives, and we are glad that somehow we are attached with the Eastern perspective, and we can at least relate, or even we are aware of this shunya, that you have to be silent inside. They are saying zero is about the outside. We are saying it is about the inside world. The thought has to be minimum, less anxiety. Sir, I will move on to the next section. Things are getting excited now. Let us make it more exciting with the rapid fire round. Something like a cool fire questions. I will be asking you a one-liner question, one statement, and without thinking much, you have to just giving whatever comes to your mind. You can talk about that. Are you ready, sir, for the cool fire and the rapid fire round? The happy questions, in short. No lengthy answers, just precise.
Right.
Okay, let's move on. What's the most fulfilling project you have ever worked on?
Providing skills out of the CSR funds for the corporates, using them for skills. This was my most fulfilling, moment, as far as I am concerned.
It means changing the life of the people around. That it in a bigger meaning.
तो आप
Okay.
आप पढ़ा दीजिए, एजुकेशन दीजिए, मैं उससे आगे बोलता हूँ, किसी को आप रोजगार दे देते हैं। This is
Very nice, sir. From education, gyan se rozgar. Right. Somebody has said the word learn has the word earn inside. Even in the word learn. So gyan mein rozgar, gyan se rozgar.
Moreover, by the way, one more thing, small thing I just wanted to add. Sorry, it's a rapid fire.
Please.
But, we say that 14 years of education might not bring in the employment for somebody, but a 14 weeks of skilling course can immediately ensure an employment for people.
That's a terrific statement, sir. And I'm sure people, after when we are done with the podcast, those who are listening right now, and when it will be on the system of the YouTube channels, those who would be listening, they would be getting this punchline. 14 weeks of skilling can add a lot of value than 14 years of education. Okay, let's go on second number. If you have to describe the aviation industry in one word, what would it be?
Glamorous, high potential.
Glamorous, high potential.
High potential.
Which professional milestone brought you the most personal happiness?
Well, when I was promoted as a joint director, I became eligible for air travel, and that was the thing which I personally feel, I was the most happiest person on earth at that day. Yeah.
So I still remember one time when I was starting my career. I was just maybe around how many years? 20 years back. So one of my boss, my first job, my first maybe second month, and I have never done air travel before. So my boss said, Nitin, I want to go from Punjab to Delhi. How should I go? I was in Punjab at that time. So I said, sir, you have to go from here by auto to the bus stand, and from there you will take the bus and you will go to the Delhi. He said, Nitin, I was thinking of the air flight, not about the bus and all that. So that is I can relate that okay, once there is this kind of alignment, or you can say the attachment of the air flight, a different mind grows. A different mind grows. Then we can't think more than that, less than that. Next, number 3. Which professional milestone brought you the most personal happiness?
Well, when
This one. What's the happiest moment you have experienced as a leader?
as a leader, in fact, the happiest moment was when I actually became the CEO of an organization, because I had remained as HR head, vice president, CHRO. But when I became the CEO of an organization, last organization, this was perhaps the happiest moment as far as my professional career is concerned.
Okay. So, if you could introduce one happiness-oriented policy in every workplace across India or across the globe, what would it be? One policy.
One policy could be trust the team policy. Trust
the team.
Absolutely. If you trust the team policy, actually is the happiness oriented. If you have trust in your team, this will bring in immense happiness in the organization. People don't trust their people, actually. This is the biggest flaw and this biggest reason why people are not happy in an organization.
Is there any mantra for doing that? Like just by saying trust your team, is it very simple, or is there any one step, 2 step, 3 step for that?
Select a person after thorough investigations. Select a person after thorough investigation. Thereafter, keep testing his integrity, periodically, but not on daily basis.
No micromanagement.
No micromanagement at all. Have trust in him, and he'll show the best of the results. People, the seniors, the leaders, actually, they really have lack of trust in the juniors. And this is both ways. Either the junior also doesn't have trust in the senior. And this, he doesn't give the best in him, basically. So you need to trust. To trust the junior policy is what I would like to say.
So it's something like that, okay, the filtration has to be done at the top level. But then it is very difficult also to get everything best at the very beginning somehow. So any professional challenge, or what professional challenge taught you the most about the personal well-being? Well, that you have to focus on that.
Yeah. In fact, this COVID basically it has basically taught us many, many lessons. A lot of lessons have been we have learned from COVID. And basically, operating in the adverse conditions is what basically we have learned from COVID. And we can discuss chapters on on COVID and the kind of but this is in the adverse conditions. How do we operate? How do we live? This was perhaps COVID was the most adverse kind of conditions we have ever in our entire, I think, last 70, 80 or 90 or 100 years. This was perhaps one of the most difficult or adverse situations. So operating in not only personally as well as professionally, operating in the adverse conditions, how to operate that. And this is what we've learned from this. This is mine.
Right. What's your favorite way to celebrate success with your team?
Having a samosa party.
Very nice. If you could dedicate a song to the skilling ecosystem, what would it be? Because you are of a music background. So one song for skilling ecosystem.
It can be Chak De India.
कुछ करिए नस नस मेरी खोले हाय कुछ करिए बस बस बड़ा बोले अब कुछ करिए ओ कोई तो चल सिद्ध फड़िए तू बेतरिए या मरिए हाय कोई तो चल जिद फड़िए तू बेतरिए या मरिए चक दे हो चक दे इंडिया चक दे हो चक दे इंडिया चक दे हो चक दे.
What's one principle you believe every organization should adopt to foster happiness? One principle, beside
Well,
that trusting of team. One principle.
So the seniors normally don't show magnanimity with the juniors. The mindsets normally, is very, very narrow while talking to the juniors. Show magnanimity to the juniors, and this will bring in the best of the results. And this is not something which is kind of just theoretical kind of thing. We have practiced this day in and day out. And by the way, incidentally, this was the subject of my PhD also.
Okay.
Retention, how to retain the people, how to retain the
Okay.
people. So retention tools. So to respect the juniors, respect the junior person or the team members, and this becomes the most effective tool to retain a person in the organization. This is the mantra.
If you could host a happiness workshop for leaders, what would you think the main theme should be? What would the main theme be?
Well, all leaders are senior, but all seniors are not leaders.
Okay.
All leaders are senior. They're senior enough. That's why they're at that position. But all seniors
Right.
are really not leaders. Basically, a leader is the one who actually, I mean, a virtue of his position, people, pass on a lot of orders, this and that. But a leader is a one who's basically who's passionate, who's knowledgeable, who's passionate, and who basically cares for his people. And this is why he's called a leader. Basically, he gives a lead. He leads the team. Basically, people, as I said, people would like to work with him, and they love to come on Mondays. Basically, that's what precise.
No blue Mondays, no bluesy Mondays.
So as I
So
said,
what?
all
Yeah,
leaders are seniors, but all seniors are not leaders. Could be
the theme. Okay. What's the most memorable feedback you have received from someone you have mentored?
Well, there are many, this thing, but what I could perhaps imagine is that, very old, very junior person, about, say, 25 years back, he used to work with me. And in fact, we met him in one of the parties. And while I was having dinner with my wife, and so this gentleman came and introduced himself to my wife. And he said, I'm so and so. I used to work with Dr. Roopak. And my kids, and incidentally, he has 6 kids. So, and they had very rare kind of disease in which every person used to be hospitalized every second month.
Every
So,
kid.
every kid, yes. There was some, I think there was some disorder was there in most of them. So once he used to be working in a regional office. So I was in the CHRO in the head office, and we used to obviously reimburse their hospitalization bills. So the head of that regional office once sent me a message that I keep receiving these these bills, these hospitalization bills from this gentleman. What is the limit? What is the limit of their hospitalization? So I just sent a one-liner back to him that even if he submits the bills every day, it's our duty to reimburse that. Please go ahead. So after that, I forgot, actually, really forgot.
Yeah.
But somehow it's we are a human being also. Somebody comes and shows their gratitude. We feel good, actually. So he was telling my wife. So that was a very, very memorable feedback, which somehow I feel.
Okay. Sir, the rapid fire was taken very coolly by you. Thank you for that. And applause for you to take this session. For the move on to the next session. We have next culture in our podcast is we have multiple people who are coming from different backgrounds for this podcast. The previous podcast we have done was with Mr. Andy Sadhwani. He is from SpaceX, from Virgin Galactic, and he was the person who has just gone to space with the Virgin Galactic mission in June 2024. He has just gone to space. And he is a principal aerospace engineer, space traveler. So we have a custom that we ask our speaker to leave one question for the next speaker. And they don't know who is coming. They don't know who is coming. So they leave a question. So I will let this question be listened to you, shared to you, and I want you to listen to the question and answer the question in your perspective. So, Andy, now I will leave this space for you to ask a question for our next speaker. So you don't know who would be that person. You don't know which country, what profession they would be. In case you would like to leave one question for the next speaker, I will pass on your question to that next speaker. Any question that you have in your mind.
Okay, great. My question would be, how many resources should we allocate to making life interplanetary? So that would be colonizing the Mars or the moon or distant moons of Jupiter or Saturn. So that'd be my question.
Okay.
What percent of the gross domestic product of the nation should be dedicated towards that?
Okay. Shall I repeat the question for you?
Please.
Okay. So the question is, since he is a space engineer or you can say space traveler, so he has asked a question, how many resources or what kind of resources that we can allocate to make interplanetary travel possible?
Well, you need the entire, here you don't need, first of all, the means to reach out to the space. That's the one via means to reach the space. You need the entire resources to first of all choose the right persons. You should have the resources to check his or her physical and mental mental ability to reach out to space. You need a lot of laboratories basically to test a person who will be going to the space. And well, frankly speaking, this is something beyond my imagination. But you need at least 200 to 250 people, different kinds of persons, different kinds of resources to enable people to go to the space.
Okay. Now we have next thing, which is called as that you will leave a question for our next speaker, and you don't know who that person could be. So I will ask you to leave one question for the next speaker. Over to you.
Okay. Well, my question would be that whether it's in the corporate world, there's the ethical values as such are depleting. Ethical values in the corporate world are depleting. As I had mentioned in my discussions, that people fudge their accounts, fudge their their personal traits, personal informations regarding where they were working earlier, with their education and this and that. And otherwise also during the working also, there's a lot of integrity related issues. How an organization or the CEO of the organization can ensure that the people work ethically and with the best of their integrity.
Okay. Sir, we have another culture in our podcast is our students are very creative and they create a custom song, or you can say a custom memento for our podcast speaker. Are you ready for that, sir?
Please. Thank you very much.
You walked the miles, you've led the way, bringing hope to hearts each day. With every step you build a dream, empowering lives, shaping the stream. Thank you, Dr. Roopak, for the light you've shown, for the seeds of change that you have sown. Your vision inspires, your kindness leads. You're the hero this world truly needs. From skills to wings, you've touched the sky, helping so many learn to fly. Your leadership stands bold and true, a legacy of strength in all you do. Thank you, Dr. Roopak, for the light you've shown, for the seeds of change that you have sown. Your vision inspires, your kindness leads. You're the hero this world truly needs. Oh!
Sir, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I am able to see this again. And here this very
Hello.
With wisdom and grace you lead the way, a beacon of hope in every day. Through challenges faced you never sway, your dedication lights the path to stay. Thank you, Dr. Roopak, for the light you've shown, for the seeds of change that you have sown. Your vision inspires, your kindness leads. You're the hero this world truly needs. Thank you, Dr. Roopak, for the light you've shown, for the seeds of change that you have sown. Your vision inspires, your kindness leads. You're the hero this world truly needs. Our song, a gift to you, for all the amazing things you do. From Amity's heart, we send our cheer. Thank you, Dr. Roopak, we're glad you're here.
That's the most wonderful gift I've ever received. This is wonderful, really. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much that you loved it and then you liked it also. Okay. Sir, before we close this session, I will be sharing the song back to you, and the recording will also come back to you once the editing is all done. As you all know, that all the editing has to be done after a little changes with all the plus and minus. Sir, since we are at the end of this podcast, and I would like you to kindly give a kind of a takeaway message to all the listeners, to all the students, to all the community who appreciate your presence, who appreciate your wisdom, and what may be a message for everybody.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for calling me here for this podcast. It was a real wonderful time I spent with you. I'm very happy that Amity University has started a department. I mean, this is something really wonderful that they've actually started a full department of happiness. I mean, this is unheard, basically. And it was a really pleasure talking to Dr. Nitin Arora and listening to the wonderful songs, the wonderful, the earlier song also and the last song also. Wonderful that. My take basically for the kids basically is that, or the youngsters is that, as far as because tomorrow you'll be going to the corporate world or the governmental jobs or public sector undertakings. So first and foremost thing, my advice to every youngster is to, do the work ethically, right? Because as far as ethics are concerned, never compromise on that. And be transparent wherever you're working, because you will be learning the best of the, you'll be given all these, the educational part, and everything will already be given to you. But basically, while you will be working in the corporates or the public sector undertakings or across the world, in fact, be closer to the ethical and follow the ethical norms and be transparent. And spirituality, we discussed many times the spirituality subject. Spend 10 minutes in the morning for the meditation and follow some set pattern, routine, set a routine for yourself. And rest is fine. You are there's not much of a gyan which perhaps can be given to you. But basically, 10 minutes for meditation in the morning, and this will bring you immense power, immense freshness, which will keep you, active throughout the day. This will keep your mind and, soul fresh, absolutely fresh for the entire day. And my best wishes to you for your future careers. All the very best. That's the most wonderful gift I've ever received. This is wonderful, really. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much that you loved it and then you liked it also. Okay. Sir, before we close this session, I will be sharing the song back to you, and the recording will also come back to you once the editing is all done. As you all know, that all the editing has to be done after a little changes with all the plus and minus. Sir, since we are at the end of this podcast, and I would like you to kindly give a kind of a takeaway message to all the listeners, to all the students, to all the community who appreciate your presence, who appreciate your wisdom, and what may be a message for everybody.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for calling me here for this podcast. It was a real wonderful time I spent with you. I'm very happy that Amity University has started a department. I mean, this is something really wonderful that they've actually started a full department of happiness. I mean, this is unheard basically. And it was a really pleasure, talking to Dr. Nitin Arora and listening to the wonderful songs, the wonderful, the earlier song also and the last song also. Wonderful that. My take basically for the kids basically is that, or the youngsters is that, as far as because tomorrow you'll be going to the corporate world or the governmental jobs or public sector undertakings. So first and foremost thing, my advice to every youngster is to, do the work ethically, right? Because as far as ethics are concerned, never compromise on that. And be transparent wherever you're working, because you will be learning the best of the, you'll be given all these, the educational part, and everything will already be given to you. But basically, while you will be working in the corporates or the public sector undertakings or across the world, in fact, be closer to the ethical and follow the ethical norms and be
With this, we come to the closing of this happiness podcast session number 9. And we were talking to Dr. Roopak Vashishtha, the CEO of Progressive Aviation Ventures IFSC Private Limited. And it was such a lovely session that we had with him. And I'm sure those who would listen to this podcast after those who have been with us for the whole session, they would have got some bites of happiness and some vision of happiness, some insights of happiness from Dr. Roopak. And this will remain with them, with their heart, in their mind for as long as possible. And I have personally learned few most important thing was one of the thing was expectations of the employees has to be taken care of as an HR, because he has been the HR head, and he gave us some you can say the mantras that how you can keep the organization happy. Some activities he suggested, like even calling kids to the office, having some gift hampers for the kids, and even the pink leaves he has mentioned. And he said one thing which I loved it also, which is like trusting the team. If you want to make the organization happy, the team happy, if you are able to trust the team, let this be the first thing, not the last thing. If we can do that as the first thing, the speed grows very fast. And junior senior conversations. This would be a wonderful takeaway, at least for me. And thank you so much, Dr. Roopak. And it was lovely talking to you, and I'm sure the same thing would have with you also.
Absolutely. We are also, from my side also, it was lovely talking to you, Dr. Arora.
Thank you so much. With this, I say goodbye to my listeners, and big, you can say big gratitude to our wonderful speaker, Dr. Roopak Vashishtha, for giving his precious time. Thank you so much, Mr. Roopak. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
हे हे चलो ना ढूंढे शहर नया, जहाँ मुस्कुराहटे हैं बिखरी, जहाँ से गम का मौसम गया, जहाँ मीठी बातें हर एक अजनबी से हो, भूले हम भी जो सारी फिक्रें, लम्हा लम्हा खुशियाँ।
आजकल सारे उदास रह रहे हैं, लेकिन आपकी जिंदगी में कुछ खुशी का जरिया होगा, तो आपको क्या खुश करता है?
What makes you happy?
पैसा और वर्किंग आउट। पैसा और वर्किंग आउट।
फ्रेंड्स, बेस्ट फ्रेंड।
तो इसके अलावा और कुछ? फैमिली। और पैसा रहेगा तो सब अपने आप ही खुश हो जाएंगे। यही आप कहना चाह रहे हो? बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
चलो ना गाए नए नए गीत, खेल ऐसा क्यों ना कोई खेल जिसमें सब ही की हो जीत। इन दिनों भूलो तारे कोई भी देखता नहीं, देखे उनको दीवाने हो के कोई कितना भी हमको टोके। खुली हवा हो खुला समा, जागे हुए हो सब अरमा, बेबे 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 हम धड़कने दिल जैसे धड़कते धड़कने दो, क्यों है कोई आग नभी शोला जो भड़कते भड़कने दो।
हाय, कैसे हो? खाया क्या? खुशियों की कसम। ओ हेलो, ऑफ है मूड, सैड हो, तो सुनो। देखो मैंने तो खा ली है हैप्पीनेस वाली कसम, इसके साथ ही कह दिया टाटा बाय टू ऑल द गम। हाय कैसे हो, खुश हो क्या, सच कहो। ओके लिसन, देखो ना झूम रही हूँ पूछो कैसे।